Manor Road, turning left or right, you will soon see a sign going left to the street and one going right to the lane. So thank you for bringing that to our attention. We're on top of it. Gives me the opportunity now to thank all of those who took part in the litter squad. I think we all agree that this is a great initiative in terms of everybody getting involved in it. It's keeping our village clean. We're getting there. It's taking time, but it will be ongoing. And I wanted to make a special mention to Wendy, who's given us so much hospitality.
Yes, thank you.
One final thing, again going back to my discussion with the vicar this afternoon, she asked me to mention that on Saturday afternoon, the 23rd of December, so in your diaries please, at 4 o'clock on Saturday 23rd of December, we are going to have carol singing around the Christmas tree in the Oaks. Alright, so if you can make it, that'd be good.
Was that
23rd of December.
What time?
4 o'clock. Thank you very much. Item number 7 is Thanet District Councillors' reports. Derek.
Good evening, Chair, members of the public. First of all, I'd like to agree with your sentiments. You do a fantastic job. It helps the community, especially in this time of austere measures. It all adds to keeping the place tidy. And also your team of volunteers outside the parish council. The amount of times I've seen Bernard Case and feeling along the Thanet Way. Tremendous.
It is reciprocal, Derek. You know, I can't believe how quick TDC are coming out and doing it. You know, within 24 hours, we collected what, 38 bags that we found, and within 24 hours they come.
They were gone within about 4 hours, because when I came back down later in the day, they were gone again.
So
yeah.
All credit to them.
Yeah, I did relay the sentiment. I saw that on messages of praise, and I told the operational director.
Good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
A little praise sometimes to these people helps.
Absolutely.
Even the chief executive, who's got a very hard job. We've got a £2 million central budget cut. We had an email from the chief executive last week. We've lost our communities director. It's 4 directors. He deals with planning, the development, tourism, housing. He's gone. So that work has to be spread out, and there's going to be a raft of redundancies, which will affect us, unfortunately. Despite this, our housing team have received numerous accolades nationally. Our winter shelter scheme, looking after the homeless during the cold months, December through to February. Emma was one of the people that volunteered. That received a great accolade. Bringing back empty houses, this district authority leads the way. I think it's 126 houses brought back in the last financial year. That is an issue. I've got an empty house on my mother's road. It's been empty since 2001, but because it has a lick of paint every now and then, it's low in the category, and they pay double to council tax, and you can't force those people to sell up. And I think to help the council, a merger must happen sooner or later, even if it's with the county authority, or the previous proposal was it Dover, Canterbury, and Shetway.
So that's still on the agenda then?
Well, Shetway voted against it, but hopefully, either that or, as Ken said, a merger with the county authority. This district authority only, out of every pound council tax, 13.8% 13.8p in a pound goes to TDC, the rest goes to KCC, the fire authorities and police. That's the end of mine.
Thank you very much. Item number 8, the Kent County Councillors' reports. Ken?
Yeah, the only one leads first. Right, we're just beginning the budget setting programme for the next financial year. And funnily enough, I know Derek tells us that we're in austere times, but we're beginning to get positive sounds from central government about funding for Kent County Council. and our budget will be somewhere just above £2 billion in the forthcoming financial year. And central government are now exploring with the leader of Kent County Council and his team ways of increasing funding to Kent County Council to cover us for costs that, quite honestly, we don't share with the rest of the country, such as looking after unaccompanied asylum seeker children, and also the hazards and the wear we get on our roads, because we are, after all, the gateway to Europe, and so our roads get a hell of a more pounding than anywhere else in the country. And central government, for the first time in many years, are actually opening doors and listening to us. So we're beginning to feel a bit positive about that. And also the business rates retention. You'll have heard that central government are going to give us, all districts and county councils, the business rates, rather than taking them into the centre and then sending them back out again. And in the meantime they lose a little bit of it, so we end up with less. They're now positively going forward so that the districts and the counties can retain the entire amount of business rates they receive. It'll actually benefit the districts more than it will benefit the counties, but it will take a bit of pressure off of the budget because we won't be reliant on the rate support grant. We've got a problem locally, and you've all seen it, which is graffiti over road signs. Police have arrested someone who was actually commissioned by the council to do some graffiti on the seafront, on the panels, and he got very upset when they took him down. So he went round and put his own up all over the place. They've managed to catch him, but there's now another one out there which the police are actively pursuing. But I would ask any of you, if you see graffiti on a road sign, you can report it via the internet on the Kent Highways reporting site. We don't have a team of people out there looking for graffiti, but as soon as you report it, they will log it, give you an incident number, and they will get out and clean it as soon as possible. Like.
Tim, we did have this discussion last time where there seemed to be a bit of a dilemma of whose property it was and who could have...
If it's on the highway, it's KCC. If it's a village street sign, it's KCC. If it's village property, then it's the village. But anything to do with the highways, road signs, direction indicators, like you've got countdown markings on the Thanet Way, that is Kent County Council highways, and they will deal with it as soon as they can.
Not Highways England?
No, Highways England will only deal with the major route signs. That's the huge big ones, you see.
Yeah.
And they quite often they can't reach up to graffiti those, which is rather fortunate. Just to keep you up to date, I think I mentioned last month that they're out to consultation on junction 5 of the M2, which is bottom of Detling Hill, this end, on the M2. They're going to remodel it because it is a major problem, especially for people coming from Sittingbourne into Maidstone. There's sort of 5-6 mile traffic jams waiting there regularly every morning. The cheapest option, just to make you sharp intake of breath, is 84 million, and the most expensive option is 164 million. I hasten to add that Shepway looked at the cheapest option and universally discounted it because it wouldn't work. So they're now looking at working up a mixture of some of them, which might involve a flyover over that roundabout at the bottom of the slip roads there, so that the through traffic can go straight backwards and forwards from Sittingbourne to Maidstone. And then, of course, that will push the problem down to the bottom of Detling Hill, where already it's jammed up. So that will be the next project, I'm pretty sure. And finally, both Emma and I today attended a meeting at KCC about becoming a commissioning authority, which means we actually take over, rather than central government organising things, we organise it with service providers and discuss the contracts with them. In other words, central government letting the leash a little bit longer so that we've got more control over what happens in Kent. And it will extend eventually to district councils as well, as Derek knows, which means that locally we will be more in control of major projects and major service providers such as adult social care and also children's care. And it will be down to us to organise the contracts and oversee them. So hopefully that will lead to an improvement in the services.
Thank you.
Do you have a question?
Yeah, just coming back to the village tonight, every time I see it, I think I must do something about it, but there's street lighting coming from the St Nicholas roundabout, coming, into the village at that main junction. There's street lighting, 2 or 3 lights, and they've been out for I don't know how long.
There's a major cable fault there, and they've got to close the road to do it. and so they're waiting for the right time to do it. Obviously, school holidays are the favourite time because the traffic is less, but it does cause major congestion. And what it is the cabling, when it was laid in originally, was not done to the correct standard. But we find that in a lot of places, as you saw from the Thanet Way, when it's collapsed last Christmas, and that was basically due to bad contracting in the first place.
Would it be possible just to sort of give another?
I'll see if I can find out when it's programmed to be done, but I know it is programmed.
Yeah.
And if you've been over to Birchington lately and up the hill from Brooks End up into Birchington, we're sending absolutely weird signals to outer space from the street lights up there. That is once again down to unaffected cabling below the road.
Emma.
Hello everybody, I just want to say hello because you haven't probably seen me before. I'm Emma Dawson, I'm the newly elected Kent County Councillor with Ken. What I wanted to do, I wanted to stand back here because otherwise I can't see you. What I wanted to tell you is just what we've been up to lately. So I don't know whether many of you know about the Kent Fire and Rescue Service. Did anyone see Arlington House the other? It was at the end of September, all lit up with all the fire engines, the police. No, well, they were doing a fire drill there at the time and just testing to see how it would be if there were all the services communicating together to follow the JESIC principles, is where they communicate and make sure that everything's going according to plan. So that was really good, and they actually used the drone there as well, so you could actually see the drone go up. So that's the sort of thing that me and Ken get involved with, those sorts of things. And the drone actually they haven't got one, the Grenfell Tower didn't have a drone in London, so they actually used our one in Kent for that procedure, because the ladder only goes up 50 metres, so that's why the drone was really useful. So for me that was really good to see all of that. The other thing we've been involved with is the highways in pothole filling. We witnessed that the other day where they do sort of like a quick spray of like filling the potholes, but some people are complaining that when it's cold weather the potholes are actually popping back out. So what we're going to go and do, we're going to go and actually have a look at Sandwich to see them done, the deep ones, and then we can come back to you and tell you whether or not they're effective and what materials they use, because sometimes if they're not using the right materials it's going to keep popping up. So that's another thing the public actually want to know about, why the potholes keep on popping up all the time. What else have we got? We've had a lot of traffic queries about speeding or speeding traffic. We can't do traffic surveys on everything because we can't afford it out of our grant, not personally, but what we can do is get more involved with Speedwatch. So if there is any of you guys that actually do want to get involved with Speedwatch, I'm sure that that is something that's being rolled out right now, and I think that as councillors we're going around to every single parish council.
I'm taking over as Thanet Speedwatch coordinator, and we've been putting out posters with said we're trying to get volunteers.
That's fine. But as a Kent County councillor, as we go around and we talk to people, we get a lot of people talking to us as well. We can actually put that word out there. If there are groups of you that are interested, you can contact myself and I can link you up with this gentleman here. But Birchington also wants to start Speedwatch, so I think there's a lot of people that are interested.
They are in with us already.
Are they?
Yeah.
Are they? Oh, okay. All right. That's fine. So that's that. And weeds. There are a lot of weeds. And what happens is KCC spray them and TDC sweep them. So that's where we've got a problem. So if you want to discuss any weed problems, you can actually also go onto the site and log it. So on KCC website you can log potholes, you can log weeds and things like that. You can also come to us as well. We'll send out Kent Highways to try and clear some of them or spray them, and then TDC will sweep them. So that's how it is. KCC spray them, TDC sweep them. Right.
Emma, is that on all roads? Because at the moment Martin's doing quite a lot for us within the village.
Which Martin?
Martin's our handler.
Oh, hello. You're doing quite a lot at the moment, aren't you? What,
Yeah,
sweeping them or?
No, they sprayed them like a pavement tractor and sprayed them earlier in the summer.
Yeah.
But to be honest, lately it's been so wet, you've got to get a run of 2 or 3 dry days for it to take effect.
I mean, it's a
Plus
problem.
they
Weeds
don't
are
say when
everywhere,
they're
aren't they?
coming. They don't say when they're coming, and people are still parking.
Is it TDC that aren't saying when they're coming? Is it?
Nobody says.
No one says when they're spraying the weeds or?
No, they just turn up.
Well, I'll see if we can sort out some form of agenda with KCC Highways to let you know what area they are actually spraying in, and then you'll actually given us a feedback form for councillors to feed back what we feel about highways. So we're filling them in as we speak now to get some feedback and to give them ideas about what they can do. So if you say we need some sort of agenda where your spraying is,
We need to know.
you should. All right,
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.
Can I just, just while both of you are here,
Yeah.
it seems to be like a little sort of throwing of balls to each other all the time with weeds, because we've got a huge problem down in south. And they said they'll come down and spray them. I think, I'm not sure who the guy is from TDC said, oh well, you know, it's not really our, but we could have a look at it. But they'll spray them, but there's weeds like on the footpath that are like 3 foot high, and they're out into them. They're in the gutters, but it's our footpaths are the main problem. I've been on to them for I don't know how long, right? And it actually needs a proper spray, scrape, and deep clean. But
It needs an action plan, but it also needs coordination. So if they're going to spray the weeds, then TDC then needs to quickly go and clean them once they've dried up and died, because it's much easier to get them out when they're actually dead. If they've just been sprayed, you've got to wait for them to sort of crease up and go. You just literally just sweep them out.
yeah, but
So
then who's going to
TDC
sweep them out?
Well, TDC sweep them out,
Yeah.
and KCC spray them.
Why is this? Why can't KCC deal with it all?
Because I think they've got such a large remit. Your district council, who look after the streets in Kensington, is planning district council. You can understand that that's who it is that's got to deal with the immediate area. KCC has got such a wide area to cover.
Yeah.
Your districts are where you actually have your street cleansing.
We had them scraped about 5 years ago, and there was a group of
Yeah.
young lads that did it, and did a fabulous job. But since then,
What I was going to add to that is that you see contractors obviously quite often clearing the verges, and it's using strimmers and those sort of things, which is great. But if you do it when the weeds are seeding, you're just spreading the problem around, and that's to me that's just a logistical sort of problem there with that. It's well, yes, it happens.
I think we did, because I was on to the guy at TDC, he did, ironically, it was the next day, and he said that one of the big sweepers would come out. But then, because there was a lot of chaff and crap coming from the vehicles that were going through, like sort of like, you know, about 3 feet on top, so it was all blown off. They actually, some of it was absolutely fabulous. It cleaned right away, looked fabulous, but then you'd go around the corner like the Ramsgate Road, and there's like sort of full of weeds and
isn't it?
they did some bits really well and just didn't touch others. So
Okay, thank you. We need to move on.
Yeah,
Thank you very
sorry.
much. Next item on the agenda is the Kent County Council Community Wardens Report. Aaron.
Good evening, Chair, councillors, district councillors, Kent County councillors, and members of the public. Hello. Just from following on what Emma said about weeds, so a different type of weed. A BMW has been seen in the rural area, floating around villages. Now, some people say it's black, other people say it's white. It's been stopped in various places and dealing small amounts of cannabis from the vehicle. So if you do see a BMW acting suspiciously, I'd be interested to get any details, registration numbers, times. That'd be really helpful. Emma and Ken have agreed to come out with myself and some other rural wardens sometime in the future around the area to have a look at what we get up to, so from there to see what goes on in the wardens aspect. Hello.
Hi, I'm Whitegates.
Yes.
I have cameras and
Right.
a couple of nights, well, it was 2:20 the other morning, car pulled in, parked up, another car pulled round, he got out, went to the car, and there was some sort of dealing going on there. So it's actually going on outside the length, at the length outside.
Was that BMW or?
One was a Ford Focus,
Right.
couldn't tell you what the other one was because he parked right up close to the, the end of the road.
Some more details.
But you don't say hello, how are you doing at 2:20 in the morning?
No, I
away from each
appreciate
other.
that, yeah, no, I appreciate that.
No.
Okay, well thanks for that.
I've got the number plate of the first car.
That's brilliant, if I can get details of it,
Yeah.
that'd be really helpful. As I was saying, Ken and Emma have agreed to come out with the wardens, so you see what we get up to in the rural villages, including St Nicholas and Sarr, so that should be an eye opener for you both, what's that? Yes, indeed. Numerous small fly tips around the village, including mattress and household rubbish, have been reported by Country Eye. Criminal